Well, they got that much-desired headline that they had been so eagerly hoping to get. In fact, I've got it here. What is this? I think this was the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, the Wall Street Journal. Talking here about the end of America's longest war. That's right, my friends. The headline has been achieved, I guess, from the... There it is. No, this is the Washington Post. I saw one similar to this in the Wall Street Journal as well. U.S. departs, headline Washington Post. U.S. departs Afghanistan, ending America's longest war. I mean, that's what they had hoped for. You know, when the Democrats are in office, tell me if you determine or if you've ascertained a certain, I don't know, pattern here. We abandon our embassies. I mean, we go to great lengths to cover up stories, to avoid having to deal with the political ramifications and fallout. This is, I mean, I am amazed. I mean, I'm not. I don't want you to think this is stunning to me, but in another sense, it is. It is still stunning to watch this happen, to watch this unfold. The strongest, most powerful nation on earth completely abandons people in the nation of Afghanistan. Trump's out there, by the way, saying that the U.S. should take military action if the Taliban doesn't return the billions of dollars in equipment that we've just handed them over. Remember, Nancy Pelosi said this is just the sort of thing that happens. This happens whenever you leave a country. They apparently get your military equipment. This is new information to me. I always thought maybe the other side got the military equipment if they defeat you. But just because you decide to leave, I don't feel like that's the way, or I don't think that's the way that this really should go down. Donald Trump Jr. had posted a series of pieces of equipment that the Taliban had now is in possession of since we left it there. And it's overwhelming. I mean, it is truly overwhelming, the equipment that they now possess in the wake of our departing Afghanistan. It truly is. I mean, it's just a remarkable thing here. And I don't know if you've seen, gee whiz, there was they've flown one of our Black Hawk helicopters over somewhere over Afghanistan, hanging someone out of the bottom of it. So there's that happening. I saw that on Instagram as well from Donald Trump Jr. But it's remarkable the equipment that they have taken possession of. It really is. Airplanes. I mean, I think C-130s, maybe big aircraft. Helicopters, M4s, pistols. I mean, you name it. I'm not surprised that Biden left the nuclear codes there as well for the Taliban. But this is an unmitigated disaster, and Trump, of course, turning up the political heat. I mean, we're not going to do anything about this equipment. I mean, how does something like this happen? I mean, this sort of thing only truly happens if you want it to happen. There is no way that suddenly we are this incompetent in positions of leadership. This was a political decision. This was for the headlines. I mean, again, there has to be some level of incompetence because there's no way. There is no way that these folks who live and breathe off of what they what they want the narrative of the day to be. Now, I know that the narrative of the day that they were hoping for is that America ended its war, Biden fulfilled his promise, America's no longer at war, just like terrorism was defeated when Osama bin Laden was killed. That was the narrative back then. And so the narrative today is supposed to be America is no longer at war in Afghanistan. Biden came in, fixed that problem, and all is well with the world. But is it? I mean, this is incomprehensible to me. The disaster, the level of this disaster, and there should be political consequences for this. There absolutely, positively should be political consequences for this. This is unfathomable that we're talking about the Taliban now having possession of Black Hawk helicopters and all the equipment that they've, night vision goggles. I think I saw something like 16,000 pairs of night vision goggles. By the way, for anyone out there who's hearing my voice this morning that's being audited by the IRS, I think you should inform the IRS. Now, I say this tongue-in-cheek. Don't really try this because you're completely at their mercy. But I think you should say to them, you're going to audit me for missing some receipts? We've literally we don't know. We have no idea. We have an enemy, a group of people that are antithetical to the U.S. Constitution. We have an enemy that when the last time they were in power allowed al-Qaeda to basically run freely in their nation, running terrorist training camps. You've seen them jumping through the tires and all this silly crap that these jokers, these folks were doing. You've seen these videos, going across the monkey bars with their masks on and all this sort of stuff. Not that type of mask. This was back when the mask you wore simply was used to hide your identity from the Americans who may have caught a glimpse of you and had some way to facially recognize you and take you out with a drone strike or some such thing. But they allowed this to happen. Those clowns are now running the country of Afghanistan yet again. I saw some, meme, I guess, that said, after 20 years and X number of trillions of dollars, the U.S. has replaced the Taliban in Afghanistan with the Taliban. And that's effectively, and this is no disrespect to the men and women that have fought over there. This is not their fault. In fact, they are sickened by this. They are disgusted by this. Some of them are going back, independent contractors of sorts to try to save these people that have been abandoned, truly 100% abandoned. I cannot fathom this. I compared this in a sense to Benghazi a couple of weeks ago, and someone had mentioned that this is worse than Benghazi. And look, we lost 4 American lives in Benghazi. We've lost at least 13 here during this last departure. We've lost, of course, more over the 20 years that we've been there. So I don't. The loss of life, the loss of American life, especially when it's done by a government that simply is doing something for political purposes. When they refuse to say, may remain in control of Kabul, there's reports of that. There's reports that the Taliban was going to allow the U.S. to stay in control of Kabul during the withdrawal, but the Biden administration said that they didn't need that or didn't want that. I think that was in the Washington Post. I could be wrong on that. Press Secretary Jen Psaki was asked about this, said she hadn't read the report, had no idea about it. The person, the most brilliant press secretary in history, who never knows any information about any question that she's asked. I just truly incomprehensible what we are dealing with. We had blank visas that were taken by people. We don't even know who have these visas. That has led Stephen Miller, former Trump advisor, to remind us of what happened on 9/11. He said, have we forgotten so quickly that the 9/11 terrorists were granted visas? Now we've got visas floating out there that anyone practically can use. I mean, it is absolutely astonishing to watch this. And this, in a lot of ways, feels like Benghazi on proverbial steroids as far as what's trying to be done to hide the truth, to redirect the messaging, to save a presidency. It's a massive, unmitigated disaster, costing American lives, hurting American interests, destroying the lives of people in Afghanistan. We created a list. Now they're denying this. We gave a list of names to the Taliban and said, hey, here's the people that we want to make sure get safe, are allowed safe exit from your country. That's being reported. Secretary Blinken, who, by the way, my oh my, these folks that are, you want to look at impeachable offenses. This sort of stuff right here, this is the sort of thing that there should be consequences for. Someone, multiple someones, ultimately this lies at the feet of Joseph R. Biden, masked or unmasked. This lays at his feet. And I mean, the media is asking questions. The media is actually, they've gotten to the point where they can't defend this anymore. I mean, this is a true dumpster fire in the nation of Afghanistan. They know it. They when they show footage of people hanging out of the bottom of Black Hawk helicopters that we've left there, that they're now hanging people out of and, showing the rest of the city, we're in charge now. You may have seen the video where the Taliban came in and took control of one of the talk shows over there, television talk show, and they're on air live with the Taliban. Taliban back there, some of these folks unibrowed up and so forth, holding their weapons as the talk show host conducts his show, his program. I think even interviewing these maniacal lunatics. This is what's happening now. It is. Words escape me to describe what Biden has caused. It's not even just, some things happen on your watch that you don't have any direct control over, right? Or you might have been able to do something about, but they were so hard to predict that, no one really and truly expected you to be able to do anything about it. I mean, keep in mind, this is how far into, roughly, right? I mean, because we're looking at 9/11 here is in a couple weeks. But this is as far into Bush's presidency as 9/11 was as far into Bush's presidency as Afghanistan was into or is into President Biden's. But Bush, look, I'm not saying there's obviously things that we learned after 9/11 where, intelligence communities were not communicating clearly and all these sorts of things. They weren't sharing information. It was a lot of these guys, or many of these guys anyway, these terrorists could have been caught if these organizations would have just shared information the right way and communicated and worked together and so forth. I'm not saying all of them would have been stopped, but some of them were clearly on the radar. There were some questionable things too. Remember the terrorists who were taking classes at flight school somewhere in Florida, telling the instructors, no, we don't need to learn how to land the aircraft. I just want to know how to fly it. That should set off a couple of alarm bells. I think it did with the instructors, but then nothing happens with the information, right? Nothing happens with that. So, I mean, there are obviously things that were systematically wrong. But to say that Bush, knew that was going to happen, you've all seen the video of him reading to the elementary students when he was told that the trade towers had been the target of a terrorist attack. He finished reading that story and quickly excused himself, got aboard Air Force One, and began making decisions, trying to figure out what was going on. Different scenario than when we have a military presence in Afghanistan. We have the ability to gain intelligence. We know that our presence there is going to have some sort of, or our lack of presence there is going to have some sort of ramifications and consequences. Weeks before, Biden was telling us there was nothing to be concerned with. The Afghan army was going to step up and be strong and take care of things. In fact, I read that some of our Black Hawk helicopters were used to evacuate some of the Afghan military. They didn't even want to stay and try to contend and deal with the Taliban. But these things are, it's right there. The decisions that Biden made or didn't make or ignored or whatever for political purposes now. There's no, when you get down to it, the date that you leave somewhere, the August 31st, May 31st, whatever it is, that's largely an arbitrary number, place on the calendar. That could be, really the measure should be we leave when we know that complete disaster will not break out, or we make the decision that, hey, things are going to get bad. Let's at least make sure that our people and those that have been helping us fight this war for 20 years are not killed. There's reports that as soon as the military was gone, the door-to-door campaign began in places looking for people that have been helping the Americans and so forth. This is just, it's inexcusable. Inexcusable. And in some ways, because of the level and the magnitude of this and the number of people that are going to be impacted by this and the black eye it gives the United States of America, we're the people who were telling us just how bad the presence of Donald J. Trump in the White House was causing the international community to just not be able to respect us. Where are those people? What do you think this has done? I shared the other day we had military leaders in the UK that were getting pressure from American military leaders to stop saving people because it made America's military look weak. I've said on this program many times before, American weakness is provocative. This is precisely what I mean. Our weakness has provoked the evil that we see in the Taliban. Now, they are evil in the sense of their ideology and who they are. That's a given. We don't have anything to do with that. But we have provoked them, in a sense, to be capable of executing evil, executing people, torturing people because of our weakness. That's what this comes down to. Our weakness. This is inexcusable. There should be political ramifications. This should infuriate every American taxpayer, every American citizen. This is absolutely, unequivocally, undeniably a self-created debacle and disaster. And there should be real consequences here for this. I'm not holding my breath to think that that's the case or that that will be the case, but that is absolutely what should happen. Quick timeout. Long in this segment. You're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back here in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? There is a cure. With the Pro-Life Health Plan, your savings could be as much as 60%. The Pro-Life Health Plan allows you to enjoy the freedom of choosing any doctor, any hospital, anywhere. And their enrollment is open year-round. Just give Eric a call at 888-448-5370 or visit them online at isellhealth.com. Better coverage at a better cost.
Corin Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corin Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
Were you surprised by your tax return last year? Did you get a large refund? Or worse, did you have to pay more than you thought to the IRS? Or maybe you just got a new job, had a baby, or are going into retirement. Why wait for another tax surprise this year? Let Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group help you project your taxes for the year to save you the stress come tax time. 317-288-5260. Jody and his team will analyze your paychecks to see if you're withholding too much or too little and help make corrections to any W-4s. If you're the sole proprietor of a business, this is a great idea for you to prepare for your tax filing. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and their new location in Greenfield. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. And don't wait. The sooner you act, the more prepared you can be for any hidden tax surprises. That's 317-288-5260 or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
program, by the way, brought to you by R&R Products. R&Rproducts.com, family owned, family operated, full showroom located in Danville, a little bit west of the great city of Indianapolis. They carry hardwood, laminate, vinyl, carpet, tile flooring products, and much more. And you can find out more by visiting their website, randrproducts.com. If you're looking for flooring, I think it's worth a search, maybe even a trip to the showroom to see how these folks can help you. They've got some very, very competitively priced. In fact, I think you'd find in many circumstances, perhaps even the best price that you're going to find. randrproducts.com. Check them out. Be sure to tell them you heard about them here on the Todd Huff Show. So here's something that happened over the weekend. I mean, I've mentioned the media can't even, they're done. They don't even know how to defend this series of decisions and this dumpster fire, this tragedy, this disaster that has now been created by Biden. They're not, at least some of them aren't. They're not blaming Trump. That's not going to work. At least with the average American people. Average Americans voter, I should say. It is working with some of the radicals. I've seen these folks on Facebook blaming Trump for Afghanistan, which is truly delusional, right? I mean, it's right there for anybody to see. Anybody that wants to see this can see when the first Biden-Obama administration was happening, we had the rise of ISIS. In fact, if we were drawing maps during the final few years of the Biden-Obama administration, we would have had to create maps that said, oh, this isn't Syria. No, class. This is now ISIS, the great nation of ISIS here. You might think that this is Iraq. No, but it's really not. It's now ISIS. It's now ISIS-controlled territory. They literally had territory. That did not last for long when Trump was president. He came in and he effectively, now ISIS is, because of the nature, the insidious nature of ISIS amongst a certain, group of people that are going to buy into these radical ideas. It is something that's going to be hard to ever completely, eradicate. There's always going to be people that are blending in that have these ideas and that are talking about these ideas behind closed doors that are going to be hard to identify and so forth. The people that are trying to organize, an Islamic state, a Sharia law for a region or for the entire world. These folks are going to be, they're going to be there at all times. I mean, this is just how this is going to be. But they don't have to have territory. They don't have to have, people who are openly recruiting or who are in possession of, say, U.S. military assets. Those things should absolutely not be happening, and there should be ramifications for that. But that, of course, is the reality that we're facing now. So, Biden-Obama administration, we had ISIS. Trump comes along, we don't have ISIS. Then suddenly you've seen the name ISIS mentioned again in the wake of Afghanistan. You see the Taliban in power again. That didn't happen on Trump's watch. Didn't happen at all on Trump's watch. They want to blame Trump for dates and so forth. Newsflash to the current Biden administration, Jimmy Carter 2.0. I mean, we can say here that we can remind you, I mean, they've been reminding us for months, right? That Biden's president. Biden's my president. This is what they're out there saying. Trump lost. Trump's not the commander-in-chief anymore. Sit down and let the adults run the show. Okay, we've done that. It seems to me that here's another problem that we're facing, in addition to many, many others, including inflation, including nobody wanting to work because of federal benefits and so forth, which are coming, hopefully, to an end. This pandemic unemployment benefit stuff that we've seen going on ad infinitum here. And so, but when the Democrats are in charge, at least Biden and Obama, we see American weakness around the world. We see a true lack of respect for our nation and what we're trying to do, and by extension, our military, not because they don't fear our military. They obviously do fear our military, but they don't fear the military when they see a person in charge that only wants to get a headline that says America is not using its military at the moment. And I'm not out here arguing that we should be using our military at every turn. That's not the point. The point is, when it needs to be used, it had better been used. It better be used, or bad things happen. That's exactly what we're witnessing here. The mismanagement of how we just left this nation in utter ruins. I mean, it's literally we're taking it back to the 8th century or something with the regressive leadership and just unmitigated disaster here. I mean, it's sad. It's avoidable. It didn't have to be like this. At least it didn't have to be this way for our people and our allies. And we've created this. Biden has created this. His team of leaders have created this. It's not Trump's fault. These things happen. These things have happened on Biden's watch. I think I referenced a week or two ago that when Obama was president, of course, he was going to save the economy. They said that they stepped in and saved us from another Great Depression and all this stuff, but things never really got better. They just talked constantly about what they saved us from. Oh, just imagine how bad it would have been if we didn't do what we did. Okay, but it's still bad, right? Things are still not working the way that they should, the way that the American people had come to kind of expect for such a long period of time. We didn't see the economy doing much in the way of growing. And remember, we were told at the time that this might just be the new normal. These sub 2% GDP growth numbers might be the new norm. Well, then Trump comes along and things change, and Obama begins to take credit, even though Trump did the exact opposite policy-wise of what Obama did. Obama wanted you to believe that his policies had just taken place. It took 8 years and a couple months for those policies to really kick in. Eight years and a couple months, plus the new guy coming in and doing the exact opposite. That's what needed to happen for us to see the full effects of the radical left's economic policies. And of course, that's silliness. But here they want the exact opposite. They don't want, credit for what the new guys do. They want to blame the previous guy, right? They want to blame Trump for Afghanistan, even though these things did not happen on his watch. And they wouldn't have. That's something we do know as well. That's something everybody out there reporting on this knows. So I'm going to take a break. When we come back, I want to play this. The media knows this. Jon Karl at ABC, he's on here with Martha Raddatz over the weekend, basically saying, what they're describing, the Biden administration, isn't really something that's based in reality. They're talking about a narrative and talking points that even I can't stand by. I, Jon Karl, come on here every day to try to protect the administration and carry the narrative in the direction that they want it to go, but I can't even do what they want us to do. It's too much for me. The American people have seen way too much. They understand that this is an unmitigated disaster. It's clearly the responsibility of the current administration. What do they want me to say about it is effectively what he's saying, and I've got to take a timeout. Play that when we get back. Sit tight back here in just a minute.
Stay on top of the nonsense our colleges are subjecting students to today by listening to Todd's monthly interview series with Matt Lamb, assistant editor of The College Fix. Listen at toddhuffshow.com/college. Brought to you by Apprentice University. We understand how overwhelming it is for students to make life-altering decisions. We help you guide along the curvy pathway toward reaching your goals. You'll gain professional skills and learn to problem solve for your future career. Visit apprentice.university to learn more about this debt-free college, purposefully designed for your outstanding future.
The compassion of Christ. It's living life connecting to the broken and messy world. It's not simply walking down the street and dropping a quarter in someone's bucket. It's been perverted by Satan from biblical compassion to feeling sorry for, and sympathy isn't where God wants us to live. It's connecting to broken people in our daily life, living the compassion of Christ.
If you're thinking of buying or selling a home, call my good friend Scott Veerkamp. Scott and his team have been helping people with their real estate needs since 1992, and he has sold literally thousands of homes for good families just like yours. For all your real estate needs, call Scott Veerkamp today at 317-979-4663. That's 979-HOME.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Has it been a while since your last eye checkup? Has your eyesight changed? At Best Insight Eye Care, they keep an eye on your vision. Their doctors use the most advanced technology and eye care products available. At Best Insight, you will find professionals who genuinely care about you and are dedicated to providing exceptional service. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase. Schedule your appointment at the Southeast Side, Indianapolis, or New Palestine locations by visiting bestinsighteyecare.com or calling 317-782-4000 to get the best insight.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.
Quality glass windows and doors add value to your home or commercial space. At White's Innovative Glass, our family-owned and operated company will work with you to ensure we understand your vision before we begin. And if you don't have a vision, we can help with that too. We proudly stand behind our work and look forward to your call. Right now, we're offering 15% off your next project. Visit our website at whitesinnovativeglass.com/Todd.
Welcome back. As you listen to this soundbite I'm about to play, I want you to remember 7 months, 7.5 months now, I guess 7 months and 11 days roughly, that Biden has been commander-in-chief, president of the United States of America. I don't want to talk about just, election integrity at the moment. Just that's Biden's been president. He was sworn in at noon on January the 20th, right? 7.5 months ago. 7.5 months. And remember, Biden was elected because he wasn't Trump. That's why. Biden was elected because he wasn't Trump. Trump tweeted things that people didn't like. The media acted as though we were 1 second away from a fascist takeover, that Trump was going to declare himself the king of the United States, and there was nothing we could do. The media is the media, right? So we went from that in 7.5 months to where everybody took a big sigh of relief and at first began to tell you how great things were going to be, how this was the right decision. The world suddenly respected the United States of America. Everything was just going to fall into place. And now they're out there saying stuff like this.
John, I want to talk to you first here. Listening to President Biden and his top national security advisors before the horrible bombing, they were making this sound like a smashing success. But you heard what Secretary Blinken just said.
Yeah, I mean, it is, they've been describing something that isn't reality. This has been an incredible airlift, more than 100,000 people evacuated, but what a disaster. Clearly, Thursday was the worst day of the Biden presidency. And we don't really know, Martha, how bad it really is. We know the disaster that has unfolded. Now the big question is, does Afghanistan once again become a safe haven for terrorist attacks on U.S. interests around the world or at home?
Which is, of course, why they said they were getting out. That was solved.
Yep, and maybe part of the reason why Afghanistan had not been such is that there was a military presence in Afghanistan. But now we will have this over-the-horizon capability. But the bottom line is the terror threat has increased and our ability to combat it has decreased.
There you go. I mean, do you realize what this guy had to do? The pep talk he had to give himself in the mirror that morning to say these things. I mean, this is tantamount to admitting, this is borderline heretical for these folks. The capacity for terrorism is greater now. The threat of terrorist attacks on the United States is greater. He just admitted this. And kudos to him. I mean, we'll applaud you here in the studio, John Carl. It's a rare thing for me to want to do that because there's such just the amount of deceit that these folks go, the depths to which they go to deceive the average American, or all of us really, is incomprehensible. But it's so bad. Think about how bad it must really be for a reporter like this guy to say what he just said. This is the worst day of the Biden presidency. Thursday was. I've seen multiple people say that. They must have had a conference call and said, hey, look, we've all got to say this. We've got to acknowledge this because this is so bad that we can't say anything else. Let's just acknowledge it. Let's just put it into terms that sound, straightforward and upfront with the American people, but that doesn't damage Biden too much. But we can't stand here and not respond to some of these things that they're saying. They're talking about how great this evacuation, this airlift is. Why did we need the airlift? Because of the decisions made by the Biden administration, or the way that it was carried out. Oh, this is Trump's plan. I just saw someone else on social media. It was Trump's plan. You think it was Trump's plan to leave American civilians and people who had helped the United States of America fight a 20-year war behind? Do you think it was Trump's plan to leave thousands of Humvees, weapons, helicopters? I mean, I've got the list here according to the Government Accountability Office. That's a oxymoron if there ever was one. Anyway, the media is saying we can't even really do anything but admit that this is a disaster and it was caused by Biden. We don't even know what to say about this other than we just got to admit the realities here. It is so overwhelmingly obvious. And I've got to take a break. Back here in just a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Ward's Apparel, Edwards Equipment, and Indiana Wooded Paradise Retreat by visiting supportouradvertisers.com today.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today. Providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price, our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
I want to get one more season out of my furnace or air conditioner. Have you or someone you know ever made that statement? Economy heating, air conditioning, and plumbing has heard it a lot. Did you know that furnaces and air conditioners are most likely to break down when they're under stress? That means during the hottest and coldest months of the year, like those months quickly approaching us. With winter on the horizon, now is the time to replace that old rickety unit. With 0% financing for up to 72 months and up to $600 in instant rebates, now is the time to buy. Doing great work is Economy's priority, and the satisfaction of their customers is their number one goal, guaranteed. Make your home comfortable this winter. Contact Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing today by calling 317-831-5279 or visit them at economyheatingandair.com. Fireplaces can be beautiful and even essential in heating some homes. But did you know they could be dangerous to your family if not properly maintained? Chimneys need to be cleaned and inspected annually. My family and I had Smalling Masonry inspect ours. They are friendly, informative, on time, and helped us use our wood-burning stove more efficiently. Call Christian-owned Smalling Masonry today at 317-903-8121 and mention my name, Todd Huff, for a 15% off chimney inspection and sweep. Are you looking for reliable advice on real estate investing? Then you should start listening to the Homeboys. Clint and Scott have over 40 years of real estate investing experience that they use to educate and guide their listeners. Listen and learn from their experiences to maximize your real estate investment strategy. You can find the Homeboys podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or watch them on YouTube. That's the Homeboys podcast. They can show you how to get started and reach your real estate investment goals.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
Welcome back, my friends. It's about all the time. I misjudged the time here today. All the time that we have today. New York Times jumping in on the mix here with these headlines. America's, what'd they say here? The longest war is over. Folks, just because you stop acknowledging that there's, what started Afghanistan was terrorism. And I think as John Carl pointed out, we may be seeing that raise its ugly head again. Anyway, got to wrap up. Sit tight back here in just a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, Care to Change, and Interior Construction Services by visiting supportouradvertisers.com today.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
There is plenty to worry about these days. If you're working with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual, your retirement and financial security doesn't need to be one of them. Blake is a time-tested financial advisor with over 20 years of experience at Northwestern Mutual. For an independent review of your financial planning needs, call Blake and mention the Todd Huff Show for a free initial consultation. Call 317-215-8322 or visit blakehornsby.com. Invest in your peace of mind with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual.
Remember how hot it was last summer? I was sweating our AC bills, so we replaced our system. We took advantage of Commercial Services' 72-month special financing. We have no interest after we pay in full within 72 months. No more embarrassing sweaty t-shirts. So if you want commercial-grade service for your home, give Commercial Service a call today.
Subject to credit approval. Call Commercial Service for details at 812-339-9114 or online at commercialservice.com.
How would you like to get a $1,000 bonus after just 3 months on the job? Sound good? If so, Wallace Construction is ready to hire you today. They're a family-owned business with 45 years experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. Call 317-422-5356 to find out more about this $1,000 bonus opportunity. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356. Be sure to tell them Todd sent you.
You're busy. At Citizens Bank, we know your time is precious. That's why we're bringing a full-service branch to Stones Crossing for all your home, commercial, and personal banking needs. Looking to open an account, get assistance from your mortgage and commercial lenders, or just make all banking transactions right from your car? We can make it easy for you. Visit our new branch at 1767 West Stones Crossing Road. Citizens Bank. More bank for your buck.
Unhappy with your CPAP machine? Now you have an alternative. The docs at Indy Dental Sleep have an oral appliance that treats snoring and sleep apnea. They begin with an in-home sleep test that is diagnosed by a sleep physician before prescribing your appliance. And it's covered by most medical insurance plans. It's preferred 20-1 versus CPAP. Call 317-888-4036 and start getting the sleep you need. Or visit IndyDentalSleep.com. I got to wrap up here quickly, but have you seen the numbers of the equipment that the Taliban now has? U.S. equipment, 22,174 Humvees. This is from the U.S. GAO, Government Accountability Office. Armored personnel carriers, 169. I mean, it's truly unfathomable here. Black Hawk helicopters, 33. Those look like the Little Bird helicopters, 43. I mean, it's just, 16,000 pairs of night vision goggles. But, I mean, what do you say about this? Not part of the plan, Biden. I gotta go. Have a great day. Hang in there. SDG. See you tomorrow. Take care.
Let's face it, moving is stressful. That's why Jones Movers, a family-owned business for over 40 years, is here to help. Our team is ready to help and respond quickly to your questions. We can handle local and out-of-state moves. which means we can move your items to wherever your pin drops on the map. We also offer self-storage units for furniture and items you need a place for. Go to jonesmovers.com to get things moving today, or visit our Facebook page, Jones Movers.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.
Are you looking to purchase waterproof flooring for your home? Did you know it's as easy as typing rnrproducts.com/Todd in your search engine for a great deal on our core tech line? Since 1971, R&R Products has provided brand name products at an affordable price to the listening area. Call 317-745-5794 or go online to rnrproducts.com/Todd. R&R Products. We make your flooring experience easy and affordable.